Welcome to the Drill Down, in-depth answers to oilfield questions. I'm John Spears.
And I'm Richard Spears.
So Richard, a lot of folks have compared us to Click and Clack, the Tappet brothers.
Because we're Italian?
No.
Car mechanics?
They usually compare us by saying, you're nowhere near as good as those two.
Oh, that's right. It is a comparison. But you're not as funny.
Yeah, right.
And you're not as helpful.
Good looking. Yeah, there you go. So, but like Click and Clack, remember that they would answer their listeners' automotive questions. And I thought today that we would try and do the same thing.
As long as we don't have to talk about the Fiat Spider that we used to own back in the 70s.
Yeah, don't buy one of those. Yeah. So now the question that comes to my mind is, does idling your engine waste fuel?
So this is not an oil field equipment and service market question. This is a practical a decision you have to face every day.
All those people listening to us as they're driving around Houston, for example, will probably soon find themselves stopped at a stoplight.
So I'm going to restate the question.
Yes.
You get up to a stop sign or a railroad track. Do you turn the car off or let the car turn itself off?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Or do you punch that button, or if you got an old car like me, just let it run?
That's
Which is better?
What's better for
with
you?
regard to what? What's the metric here?
Well, just in terms of wasted fuel, right?
Okay.
So
no, we're not going to worry about the car, wear and tear on the car.
No.
It's simply fuel.
Fuel use, absolutely.
Because I'm going to sit here and think that the government was involved in this decision. And as a result, I know one way I go. Can I tell you a little anecdote?
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Because as you know, and about 4 of our listeners knows, I spent part of my education in Switzerland. And the Swiss schools that I went to, we go to school on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And as a good Okie, I'm done for the week.
Oh, yeah.
But no, they keep going on Saturday mornings.
Ooh, okay.
And this was 1974, 1975. Okay, you got it in your head, right? Because I'm 19. Mm-hmm. And on Saturday afternoons, because they were concerned about Umweltschutz.
Oh, yeah.
Umweltschutz. So you Germans on the phone will know that that's about the protection of the environment.
Oh, okay.
We many times would go out to the railroads crossings in Baseland and ask people who are lined up at the railroad crossings, please turn off your engine.
Get out of here.
So that was 1974, 1975. I'm one of those kids sitting there knocking on the car window saying, bitte, turn off your car engine.
And their reply would be, was?
Like, I can't turn off the BMW or the VW. So what do I wish I had known?
Yes. Okay. So in order to answer this question, because, that was 74, 75, right? So that was back in the days of carburation.
Black and white TV.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. Electronic fuel injection has been around for about 30 years now.
Those were carburetors.
Yeah, back then. So now we got fuel injection. So it's a different ball of wax. And so you have to know a couple of different things. One is, on average, how much fuel does a car consume while it's idling?
I don't know how much.
So it turns out, I have 2 data points for you. A passenger car.
I hope one is a Lexus GX 460, because that's the one I got.
A passenger car in general consumes 0.16 gallons per hour.
GPH.
Gallons per hour.
0.16 gallons per hour.
Now, if you're a semi, or you're driving a semi, then that idling number is 0.8 gallons per hour. So much higher, right? 5 times higher.
So if you're driving around Houston in your Kenworth, or more importantly, you're parked at a stop sign.
There you go. Right.
You're going to burn through almost a gallon
per hour. Yes.
But if you're just sitting there waiting, a gallon and
0.16 gallons per hour.
If you're in a car.
If you're in a car, right.
Okay.
Yeah. So now restart. So if you're restarting a car,
That's
so the other question is, if you're restarting a car, the average car restart consumes, get this, 1/2 teaspoon. Now you're asking yourself this question, which is, who the hell is running this test? Martha Stewart? I mean,
exactly.
What's going on?
Because a lot of car mechanics have that Martha Stewart. I got a 1/2 teaspoon.
So the next question you're going to ask yourself is, how many teaspoons are there in a gallon? Right?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, and
yes, I am. How much?
The answer to that I know is 768. Don't ask me what I was doing Saturday afternoon.
768
teaspoons per gallon.
TPS, not tablespoons.
Teaspoons per gallon, right?
Per gallon.
And as a side note, does anybody know if they need like 800 teaspoons because I got them. So.
Well, you can use one over and over again.
You could, I suppose.
Oh, but you bought the 800,
like a medical
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah. So you're idling at 0.16 gallons per hour. That's 123 teaspoons.
Oh, we're going to turn it into teaspoons. Okay, say it again.
123 teaspoons per hour. That's your idling consumption. Teaspoons per hour.
H.
And
okay,
in
got
digital form, it's 0.034 teaspoons per second. Because again...
okay. Say it again. 0.34.
No, 0.034.
0.034
teaspoons per second.
TPS.
Yes, right. Because the question then comes...
How many seconds?
How long do you have to be sitting there idling? Or how long... Yes. So if you're sitting there idling, the question is, you're consuming 0.034 teaspoons per second, but it takes a half a teaspoon to restart.
Oh, so I got to come back over here.
Yeah,
and now this is 0.5.
Right, teaspoons for a restart.
Just teaspoons. Okay.
So for those of you who don't have a calculator at hand,
well, I've got one.
The answer is that if you're idling for 15 seconds or more, you should turn off your engine. Right?
So the number is 15 seconds.
15 seconds is your breakover point. Anything less than that,
15
if you're sitting there for less than 15 seconds, go ahead and let your engine idle. But if you're going to be stopped longer than that, turn off your engine and let it turn itself off, and then restart.
So have you tested this?
Yes. So I have run a one-man test.
How many stoplights do you have between your house and the office? About 2?
3. Okay.
3.
I have 3.
All right.
So I've been keeping track of how long I've been stopped in traffic.
You have a stopwatch there?
So this is a tough thing.
Because you drive a little,
per seconds, right?
Like a 40-year-old Celica.
Yeah. But more importantly, I don't wear a watch, right? So the question is how to keep track of the seconds. And so
how long?
Many folks have a radio in their car these days, as it turns out.
I don't use it.
And some have access to Sirius XM and so forth. And so for those of you, for example, who are Pitbull fans, you could listen to his song Culo, and that
is that a song?
That is played at 60 beats per minute. So you can just count the beats, and you know how many seconds are going by, right? There you go, right? If perhaps you're not a Pitbull fan, and we know who they are, then you could go with the old song by the Tokens, "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." Yeah, there you go. Right, that's the one.
Okay.
If you're more of a classic music fan, you can go with Chopin. So Nocturne in E flat.
How does that go?
About 60 beats per minute.
Yeah,
right, if you've not been listening.
That's
and
right.
finally, was anything ever recorded by Danny Elfman? The underrated Danny Elfman is pretty much played at 60 beats.
I can't tell you anything by Danny.
It's own like 1048 on the Sirius XM dial, so it's way out there. But anyway, all those songs played at 60 beats per minute. So you can listen to that, count the beats, see how long you've been sitting in traffic, right? So it turns out that I get about 30 seconds my average stop time, as it were, it works out to a little bit over 30 seconds per stop light.
So 16 measures of a song at 60 beats is for...
That would be about right, yeah. So I could save 30 to 45, seconds. So I have, I spend that extra time in traffic. So I've calculated for myself how much I would save over the course of a year.
Oh, by turning my engine off.
Right, exactly. Because
if every light was red.
Well, not if every light, but just on average.
Oh, on average.
Just on average. Because some of them aren't red. Some of them I don't have to sit for 5 or 10 seconds. Some
because you're getting old, you sit there just a little longer.
Absolutely.
Just to see if anybody's going to go past.
When does the horn behind me start honking?
Yeah. Gives you 2 seconds.
Turns out if I can do this, and then
how much do you save?
Savings over the course of a year, because I go, 2 trips a day, 365 days a year, I can save 1,850 teaspoons per year.
Oh, good Lord. 1,850.
Yeah, right. So approximately 2.4 gallons per year in savings if I turn off the engine.
Your car off.
Yes. On those instances where I'm going to be stopped for more than 15 seconds. Right. So you can kind of tell you're way back. The traffic's moving really slow.
Per year.
Yeah. Now, this doesn't sound like much of a savings.
But, not on you, but we should all do our part.
Well, see, that's the thing about it. There's 300 million cars in this country. And if every single one of them was out there saving 2.4 gallons per year, that's almost 2 million gallons of gasoline we're saving, or approximately 50,000 barrels per day. So you think about
per day?
Per day, 50,000 barrels of gasoline per day. If everybody did this...
I'm going to turn my car off right now.
See, that's the thing. So your average EV, a million EVs, in terms of fuel savings, driving an EV,
so now you're going to
a million of those EVs out there, right? A million EVs collectively save about 25,000 barrels of gasoline per day. Right?
So if I would just turn off
all
my
of us did this.
Lexus
that's right.
at the stop sign.
That's right. If we all did this, we would be saving the fuel equivalents of about 2 million EVs.
Which is twice as many as we have on
No. We have about 3 million on the
so we would save a fleet of EVs. Current fleet of EVs.
That's exactly right. So
I think we should all go do it.
That's exactly. So that's the problem, right? So we have some listeners, but we need to get the word out. So I was thinking, if all of our listeners to this podcast just went out,
we've got dozens.
I know. If they all told just 1,000 of their friends tomorrow,
all right, sure.
Right? And then we get the word out, and then everybody then the next day tells another just 1,000 of their friends. Then in 2 days, everybody in the U.S. We'd have 300 million
so in 2 days
we could cover the whole U.S. We could start saving gasoline right away.
By a week we'd have the problem solved, and we would not. And Mr. Biden, our president, would be delighted that what we've done, starting here in the oil field,
that would be
help the environment.
Thing to do. Yes. So,
all right.
And maybe we could claim credit for it on our ESG.
John, this is exactly the kind of thing that our listeners are depending upon us.
It's hard to value this kind of
it is hard to value what we've just talked about.
Anyway, so we very much appreciate you spending your time today listening to us talking about ways to save on and improve your fuel efficiency. And if you want to come back next week, the question is going to be, do you save more fuel by gunning it at a yellow light or slowing down and stopping for the red?
If you've got great questions and even greater answers, feel free to email drilldownshow@gmail.com, and we'll be right on it. That'll be the topic of our next week's thing.
Thanks so much. This has been The Drill Down Show. I'm John Spears.
And I'm Richard Spears.